Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In this video, I'm putting together my Project Life spread for the week of October 9th through October 15th, 2023, and I'm working with the One Little Word mini kit from Ali Edwards for quarter 4 of 2023. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so this is the week of my birthday. So I had saved a scrap of wrapping paper for my birthday. I think I want to include somehow in here. And I also saved this map. I went on a little hike this week and I saved like the map. It's a local park that I've been to many times before. I'm pretty sure this exact map is in my album elsewhere, so I may or may not include it, but I did save it. I have the back of the last week's spread has the 9 3x3 pockets, and on this side I'm doing, 12 3x3 pockets, and this side has the 9 3x4 pockets. So I printed a few photos. I printed 4 3x4 photos, including 2 from my hike, and I'm thinking I'm going to include those kind of like this. And then I'm just going to do like a grid of photos. I think maybe I didn't do quite enough photos for this side. Yeah, I'm short 1, which is fine. This actually looks like it's a little too tall. But that's okay, because I can either use this or the map for the last one. But these are just photos in a grid here, let's see, of things that happened this week. You can see I don't have a ton of photos. It was my birthday, but I actually did not take really any photos. I took a couple of like the presents after, like while I was mid unwrapping them, and they just didn't come out nice, and I decided to just not include them because I didn't love the photos, which is fine. So for this week, I'm working with the One Little Word quarterly mini kit. I believe this is the 4th one for the year, so the last one for 2023. And I had kind of abandoned doing the One Little Word as a standalone project this year, but I do have the kit, and I thought, this kit would actually work really well in Project Life, and a lot of the sentiments would work well for the week of my birthday. So I decided to use it here. It's also like very fall colors. This is a fall week. So I'm going to try to figure out kind of how I want to use it in here. So first of all, there are no cards, so I need to get a little creative with that. There are 2 papers. This one you could definitely cut down and put in parts of them in pockets, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to leave that one. And then there's this one that says Finding Meaning, which could make a good title card. So I might cut that down to use as a background for a few places. There's these tags, which I think are going to be my primary journaling spot. So I'm thinking of doing something like this, where I just put one in each of these spots. I'm probably not going to do all of them, but just to kind of start it out and like get an idea of how many I have. So I could do that. I might not do one and do like try to find like a filler or something. And then there's these. So this has been quite a year, I think, is a great sentiment for my birthday. And then I also have like this Showing Up for Me one. I do want my title, but I did also want to include that wrapping paper somewhere. I could just do it like behind something like that, or behind these. I'm not sure, or yeah, I don't know that I want it to be its own. I'm not sure yet. And then I think I won't use that one. Move Forward. This heart is very cute. I could make my filler card out of it if I don't find something in my stash that I want to use, so I might do that. I'm going to put that one aside. Then let's see, there's chipboards. So I'm definitely going to pull these out and use these to embellish some things. I think some of them maybe are good for Project Life, but maybe not all in one spread, because they are very much like One Little Word themed. Documenting my journey obviously could work though so these ones are the ones that like don't punch out very easily. Let's see, Note to Self, Keep Showing Up. That's a good one. The Heart of the Story. Yes, Big Love Story. A lot of these could work. Ready to Move On to a New Chapter is great for my birthday. maybe I'll put that in like this or these two like together on one. Not sure yet. So then there's these. I really like these, and I was thinking of making my own journaling cards with them, but then I have so many of these tags. I'm not sure exactly how I want to use them. I think I could also like I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some embellishments with them. Like this one, taking a deep breath, inhale and exhale, repeat, I think would go really well on top of that photo. Let's see. Always remember, it's the small steps that lead to big results. I don't think I have anything this week that goes with that sentiment. Stories I'm telling myself right now. Always learning something new about myself. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. Using my hands and my heart to connect with my word. And note to self, keep showing up and putting in the work. So I think I want to do maybe like that one and this one. I wonder if, trying to decide where this would go. So that one I like on there. And then maybe I'll put this one on my title and make a title card. This one I could also include maybe on here. But then I think I'm going to rearrange it so it's not next to that one. Okay, so I think that is a good initial setup. So I'm going to go look in my stash and see what I have. I'm looking for a potential filler card here. I'm looking for some backgrounds for these and for these. And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I went over to my Project Life card stash and didn't find anything birthday related. I went through my fall stuff and didn't find anything that I thought would work here. So I decided I'm gonna work with patterned papers and the things from the kit. So based on the color scheme, I wanted to go with like more browns, tans, neutrals. So I pulled these 3 pieces from my scrap collection. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link that. And I think that I like this one and maybe put this on top of it. Yeah, I love that. So that's what I'm gonna do for right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and crop that. So I need to put this guy, measure to 4. And I think it's already cut to 3. Yep. So I'm gonna put this one here and I will put this on top of it and just crop it down. So that's gonna be my filler right there. I absolutely love that. And I'm thinking, do I wanna do this same one for my title card? Problem I have is I feel like this isn't gonna pop on it that much, but I think I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna either put like labels or something, because partially I just wanna use up this scrap. And partially I just love the pattern, it's really pretty. So, and I want to tie it in across the spread. So I think I'm going to do that. And then what I need to do is add some maybe white or something behind here to layer that on, but I will do that when you guys are on fast forward. So I'm going to leave that. And then I'm thinking I need some patterns to go behind a lot of these. So I pulled over some other papers, some from my stash of full papers and some from the scraps, and there's also this one from this kit. I'm thinking that I don't have, unless I use one of these, there's not going to be enough to do them all the same. So I guess the question is, do I want them all to be the same? And if I do, maybe like this wood green, I don't know, that might be too dark to not have like something like this where there's some white in there. It's also busy. So, there's also like this one I really like, but again, like I can't make that many from it. Same with this one. I think this one's not the right brown, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that one to the side. I do like this one. And there's this one. I do also want to use my wrapping paper. Thinking I might use this one like behind like the birthday one. So I think I'll do that and maybe make this one about my birthday. And sorry, you guys, if I'm a slow thinker, but I feel like I hope that it's helpful to you to like see me going through the thought process. Let's see, I also pulled out this music one because I got a keyboard for my birthday, which is something I wanted. Let's see. I think I might put that like behind one that I'm going to journal about my gifts, maybe. Let me see. I'm gonna make a 3x3 square from this music paper. And then I'm thinking that one will be like right here. And I'll journal about music or the piano. And then this one I'm gonna put behind there. So I need to make it into a square. So I need to start by getting a straight edge. This is on the camera here. Oops. Just gotta scoot some stuff down so everything can fit here. Okay. And then I'm gonna crop this. And I don't care about saving like the rest of it. I just wanted enough so that I had like something documented of the wrapping paper, which is super pretty, but I don't need to keep most of the scraps. I can just keep this little piece right here. Like that. And then kind of like that in that they're not the same. And then let's see here. I have this one and this one. I kind of like the wood grain one, but I'm worried it's going to be too dark. No, I actually really like it. Maybe I could do, next to that, I feel like this needs maybe this one. Okay, so I'm gonna crop this one to 3. And I feel like I was struggling with this one a little bit more than I normally would, partially because I don't normally use these browns and like the wood grain ones. Like I tend to leave those in my stash for a long time because it's not my favorite. I think I want to use this one in some places because it's less busy. I guess the question is, do I want to like alternate these two? I also really liked this floral, but I think that's too busy. So I think I'm gonna do, here, I'm gonna cut 2 3x4s from this one. I'll make it like here and here. I don't like it with that color though. And then I will take this one and crop a few others for the other corners. So like this will be here. This one will be here. There, I like that. And then on this side, I think I'm gonna do like one of these right here. And then that one, I think I wanna do this one again. I'm gonna go this direction this time, so I don't end up with a really long strip left over. I'm gonna put this one here, and then here, I guess I could do the wood grain again. Use this piece. There we go. I kind of wish I had another of that, but I ran out of that paper. Okay, so I think that that looks good for a base. So then what I need to do is do my embellishing, crop everything, adhere it down, do my journaling on these. I think I'm going to do some large stamping. I'm probably going to put some brads just to give it a little more texture, and then figure out where I want to work the chipboards in. I ended up not using this one, and part of that is I think that the words would be fully obscured by anything I put on top of it like this. And I also feel like it's not a perfect sentiment for this week. So I'm going to save it. And then I'm putting that one aside too. I'm not going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and get the rest of this put together. You guys, I'm so sorry, but I forgot to press record. Or I thought I did, but it didn't work. So I made this title card, and basically what I did was I just cropped some white scratch paper to strips and cut the strip up and put it on here. I will do a similar treatment on some of these other cards. And then on the same strips, extra strips, I stamped my dates, put it on here, and added some tiny attachers. I also added some embellishments onto these two pieces. And now I'm going to work on these tags. I'm going to do some alpha stamping and then some journaling. I made a list here of all of the things that I want to stamp so that I can keep track and use, like, when I stamp the B, I'll just do it in both spots so I don't have to take too long, because it does take a while to do stamping. But I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on fast forward for real this time and record me putting this together. Okay, so as I said, the first thing I'm going to do is my alphabet stamping. If you watch my last process video, you will see that I did this on the last week's spread. Prior to this, I had a very similar setup, and it just so happened that it worked out this way based on the kits I was using. And then you guys will see next week, I actually do something similar again. And I try to switch it up once I realize when I'm putting that spread together that I am kind of following the exact same pattern of repeated stamping on repeated journaling embellishments on various cards. But I don't know, I just love this formula. In the future, I'm going to try not to do it so many weeks in a row. But, you know, I guess each week kind of stands alone to me because you don't see them at the same time. So if you do a similar formula multiple weeks back to back, I don't really think that it's a bad way to go if it works for you. So, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm also not sorry. So anyways, back to my stamping. I'm using this stamp set. It's an alpha stamp set from Carrie Bradford's studio. I think I've mentioned this before that I have only made one purchase from there, and I purchased a few stamps. They seem to be great quality, but I tend to go back to the same brands over and over again, as I'm sure you guys know. But I definitely liked this stamp set, and it's become one that I grab pretty frequently for my stamping. In fact, this is the exact same set that I used in the previous week's spread of doing this alpha stamping. So in the next week, I do switch it up and find a different stamp set. And that was one of the few ways that I found to try to switch it up. As you see me doing my stamping, I had written out all of the words on that sticky note there. And I'm using that as a reference so that when I pick up an alphabet, a specific letter, I can try to use it more than once on different cards to try to slow or speed up the process of this. And it makes it sort of like a little game to me, which makes it a little more entertaining because it is very repetitive. But this is something I like to do while watching TV. I tend to either have YouTube on or the show I'm currently watching while I am working through these spreads. Often I watch shows while I'm scrapbooking that are like a rewatch or something that I don't care that much about missing, either like a lighthearted show or like a home design show, something like that where I don't need to pay full attention to the show. Right now I'm watching Pretty Little Liars, but it's a rewatch. And if you guys have seen that show, it is kind of a silly show, but it's also so good and also so bad at the same time. If you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm moving on to my journaling here. So like I said, I'm journaling about my birthday here at the beginning. That was pretty much the main thing that happened this week. So this week held Columbus Day, which falls on a Monday, and I don't have work because I am a government employee. So I had the day off, and so I went for a hike in Thatcher Park, which is a local park here, and walked behind a waterfall and saw some of the leaves. It was really nice out. The leaves are usually at peak during my birthday week here where I live in upstate New York, but they were not yet at peak this time of the year. I think we had kind of like a heat wave in September that threw off the changing of the leaves, and they really hit peak. I think it was like the following week. So I journaled on those 2 cards there about my birthday. I journaled about the Thatcher Park, which I haven't done that one yet, but you can see the stamping up in the top there. I'm grabbing it right now to go with some of those photos from my hike. Pumpkin came to check out what I was doing. Sorry about that. I know some of you guys like to see him, but I think it's kind of funny watching me write and how like I'm not even fazed at all by him just walking through, which just goes to show that I've had cats like most of my life. So moving on to this card here, after I journaled about the 2 birthday ones, I journaled about the Thatcher Park. Friday the 13th was also this week, so I had some journaling of just about some scary movies that I watched. One of them was about work and just some changes at work. I don't do a lot of journaling about my job specifically because a lot of what I do is secret and I can't share it with anyone, let alone on the internet. But I do share things about, the type of work I'm doing or the volume of work I'm doing. And that I do get some questions about how I document my job. And that's kind of how I handle it. So here I just talked about how one of the attorneys I work with was leaving and I got transferred some of her cases, which is just a lot of work for me. And I didn't go into, what those cases were about or anything because I can't, but just specifically noting what was happening at work. And I think that just kind of provides a backdrop to what else is going on in my life and is being documented in my scrapbook. Although I do spend a large portion of my life at work because I do have a full-time job, I don't tend to document that often, partially for secrecy reasons and partially because that's just not really the part of my life that I want to document. Anyways, so when I did all of my journaling, I had a few more spots that I didn't really have anything specific to journal about. So I decided to journal about food. So I did one that was Good Eats, which went with the photo of the eggplant pizza that I made, which was delicious. And then the last two, I did one on pickleball and one on practices. I wanted it to say practices, the one that I'm adhering down right now, but it didn't quite fit, so I just did practice. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that goes with one of my videos for my Hobonichi cousin flip through. I talk about that in there, so if you are curious about that, I will link that for you guys up the eye. And then the last one is about pickleball, which is a new hobby that I picked up this summer. And I journaled about, how I've been playing a lot this fall. And I actually went to play twice during this week. So after I did all my journaling, you saw me go around and adhere everything down on all of the cards. And now I'm going through and adding in little brads to hold each of these tags down. They're obviously adhered down with adhesive, so that is really not, like the brad isn't really doing anything. It's just decoration, but I like the additional texture that it adds to the card and just makes it seem a little bit more completed. And you saw that I kind of did them in an assembly line approach where I did all the stamping at once, all the journaling, all the adhering, all the brads. And I think that makes it come together a little bit quicker and just be like a more relaxing process because I don't have to think as much and I can just kind of enjoy, gluing and stamping and watching my show. Moving on to this photo of my cat here, I'm adding one of the quotes on here. This one says the stories I'm telling myself right now. So you could see kind of the pattern I'm using for these where I just am trimming it into shorter segments. I'm trimming a piece of white cardstock to adhere behind it. And then I'm adhering the white down first and then adhering the vellum on top of the white. And I'm putting it off center on purpose so that some of the white shows behind it from the sides and some of the vellum doesn't have white behind it. I don't know. I just like the way that looked. It was sort of like a drop shadow. And I did that treatment 3 times on 2 of the photos and on my title card. I added another chipboard piece on there from the set. And then I'm going ahead and slipping everything into the pockets. I think this one came together pretty smoothly. I really enjoyed working with this kit, which was something different from what I normally use in my project life. I don't think I've used any one little word supplies in here before, but I will probably do it again because I have a decent amount in my stash. And I don't think I plan to do a separate album for that project in 2024. That is just one of the things that I decided to let go of to make space for some other practices. So here is a look at that completed spread. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.